Welcome to Hampton Court Palace, Part 2, Swannying Around. So they must have known I was coming, so they madly started scaffolding over the palace. But we've tricked them because we've come a bit earlier than they thought, and they didn't quite finish covering it all up. This Tudor device here was how they used to deal with their toiletry issues. So what they would do is, once the cesspool, all the poo would go into a pool, and they would put this device in, crank the handle would rotate and lift it up and out of the pool and disposed in some other way. That tradition continues today. If you've ever known anyone that spent a lot of time in a caravan park. But we're now inside the oldest parts of the palace, built in 1520. This is where good old Henry VIII used to lurk. It's the man himself, Henry VIII. And Boleyn, Catherine of Aragon, Queen Mary's mother. Another little room. Timber walls. And this is what it was like living in Henry VIII's time. Goebbels didn't invent propaganda. This is a painting that Henry VIII owned, depicting people from the Bible stoning the Catholic Pope. To get the people riled up against Catholics so he could form his own church with his own rules. Tapestries such as these are the sort of things that adorned the walls in Henry's palace. And now we're switching kings. We're moving on to the area that William III had. Now, I don't know much about William III. William I, of course, was William the Conqueror. And I assume, being named William III, he was very connected to that 1066 event. It's magnificent. Ceilings and walls as we approach the apartments. Oh, magnificent room. Quite a few weapons. It's an interesting way to store your armory. Oh, look at that. All made up of firearms. And the drums on the wall. Beautiful big room. Beautiful big fireplace. And Lena taking photographs of everything. And now we've got a very long corridor here. Looks to me to be a throne room. Tapestries on the wall. Very big, very spacious. Electric chandelier. This is where William III would sit.
Like you said, the finished limit.
Goodness me, another room, another throne. More tapestries. Now, I did read on a sign that there was a fire during the 1980s that caused damage in this part of the palace. Rebuilt, finished in 1992. So I don't really know how much of it is genuine period and how much of it is a reproduction. And this is William III's view of the gardens. There's lots of commentary by the staff in the background having a good old chat amongst themselves. Another room, more tapestries, another throne. I don't know how many bums Henry III had, but every room seems to be set up for him to sit down. Of course, there's some pretty amazing portraits as well. Now we're in the King's bedchamber for something different. Tapestries on the wall, no throne, magnificent portrait, and a bed, roped off. Obviously concerned some tourists might be feeling a bit tired and decide to have a little nap. King's little bedchamber. Now, I don't know what that means. But behind that curtain's a little bed, apparently. Fireplace. And here we are. Imagine this would be called a drawing room. Probably not, because a drawing room is actually somewhere where you withdraw to after dinner, as opposed to drawing like the desk here. And this is King William III's necessary office, better known as the dunny. And judging from the peeling paint on the wall and ceiling, plenty of action went on in this room. So we've seen Willie's room, Willie III, and we've seen his crapper. Now we've seen him. Back in Henry VIII's part of the palace. Here we are in the banquet hall. The great king and all of his wives would have sat. Lots of calories consumed at that table.
The Duke's Sundays reminds me hard to read like in Winchester. The king's opinion of Anne is fixed, Cromwell. He does not like her. He must be shown a way out of this matter.
So we just went through. We're on a second floor now, and we found ourselves inside that chapel that we weren't allowed to photograph before. The same lady wearing a robe said you can't take photos. There's a reproduction of Henry VIII's crown in there. And yeah, just a reproduction. Doesn't look any different to any of the other crowns that we've seen while we've been here, to tell you the truth. But that's pretty much Henry VIII. It was a pretty spectacular palace to walk around. And now we're in the Georgian area of the palace. We're in the 1700s now. Nice big rooms. Pretty incredible big paintings. And in particular this one here of George. George the First, there he is. He came to England in 1714. George ruled alone, although he brought with him his mistress, Melusine. George had divorced his wife for adultery and imprisoned her in the royal residence in Castle in Saxony. He never saw her children again. This would cause Prince George never really healed this wound. So the Georgians have a lot of artwork, but the decorating of the palace is very, I don't know how you describe it, but not as artistic as most palaces. Big rooms, big paintings. King George, well, actually not King George, that was the Prince of Wales' actual throne. some artwork on the walls and ceiling. Feeling more regal now. Queen Caroline's state bed. That'd keep you awake having a bedroom ceiling like that, wouldn't it? Yeah, so that's the bed. Complete with baby monitor. You can hear the baby now.
Help us grow, like, share and subscribe.
So we're going to end our tour by taking a stroll through the gardens. So William III ripped up Henry VIII's gardens. He didn't like them anymore. He'd been to France and seen a much better style. So he ripped them all up, and this is the result. Say goodbye to Hampton Court Palace, darling. See you next time.